Now, for those of you who are less familiar, right, the young men here, you probably haven't done that much hotel. It turned out, you know chambermaids. You know about chambermaids, I presume, right? Chambermaids around 11 o'clock in the morning will come into the hotel house and they'll clean up the bathroom and they'll clean everything around and they'll make the bed and they'll get the duvet and the sheet and they'll tuck them underneath the mattress and they'll go around and they'll do it at the back and they'll do it the other side and they'll do a good job of it. And then you come back to the hotel room about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, midnight, after the wedding or the dinner, whatever you're at, and you try to get into the bed. But there's no way that this mattress is going to yield to the duvet. You're tugging furiously at the thing, going, Jesus, I can't get into this thing. And you're lying on top of the bed going, what kind of feckin' envelope have I rented for myself tonight? This is ridiculous, I can't get into the damn thing, this is a nightmare. And you slide the one arm in just to feel the good of the cotton against your skin. You go, oh my God, that feels fantastic. Jesus, if I could just get into the bed, I'd be the happiest man in the world. You know that? I'd be thrilled to get into the bed. But you can't. So you have the one arm in, you're on top of the bed, you're trying to sleep that way, but then you go that way and it goes wrong. And then the next morning you go down to the manager and he goes, how did you sleep? And you go, well, my arm slept fantastically. It's the best night's sleep my arm has ever had. The rest of me's in feckin' spasm at this stage, yeah? So they invented the turn-down team, who were like night chambermaids, who come round to the room at 9 o'clock at night and who like loosen up the duvet and who loosen the sheet and who get the whole ball rolling on the whole going to bed process, right? And they fluff up the pillows and they're the ones who put a mint on each pillow because that's what you want just as you're going to sleep. Just a little injection of sugar into your bloodstream just to kick the whole journey to the land of Nod off, yeah? In really good hotels, lads, they rack up a line of cocaine on the table beside the bed. They're able to go, time for bed now. I had the misfortune once of being in a hotel room at about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night once, and there's a knock on the door, and I open the door, and there's a woman there, middle-aged woman, in a chambermaid's outfit with a trolley, and she looks at me and goes, turn down team? And I'd heard all those words, but never, like, in that context, in that order, right? And I was genuinely didn't know what... Part of me thought I was supposed to go, turn down team, yeah! And then we'd link up like a crime-fighting unit, and we'd travel across the hotel turning down crime, yeah! But I couldn't be entirely sure that that's what she meant. So to play it safe, I just went, yeah. And the woman walked into the room, right? And now I'm on the back foot. There's a woman walking into the room. She turns and she starts walking into the room and I'm walking beside her. And she walks into the room going, what's going on here? Exactly. What I said yesterday? What exactly are we doing here? And as we walk along, we seem to be walking directly towards the bed. And I'm going, what service exactly have I agreed to from this woman here? This is a bit weird now. And we're walking across the room, and then she bends over the bed, which doesn't make me feel any more comfortable about the whole situation, and just pulls down the duvet, and then turns to me and goes, good night, and then walks out again. And I'm left bereft in the middle of the bedroom going, what in the name of Christ just happened? And I was puzzling over it, and then I thought, oh my God, that's her job, that's what she does. She does, oh my God, how did I look to her? I must have looked like the worst kind of rich, middle-class prick. And she arrives at this door to do this stupid job. And she knocks on the door, and I open, she goes, turn down team? And I essentially went, yes! Get in here now! I am too powerful and lazy to take my own duvet cover down. You shall do it for me. And not only will I make you do this, I shall walk with you to the bed. I shall accompany you on the long commute from the door over to the bed, and I shall judge your work. Do not take the duvet down too far. I do not wish the bed to be naked. Get out. Get out. So when I got back to the room that time, the turn-down team had been in, right? And they'd done all their bits and bobs and done the whole thing, right? And they'd taken the duvet down and done the sheet, and they fluffed up the pillows and out were the mints and the whole thing. And they weren't still there, they were gone, right? So I'm looking around the transformed room going, all right, they've been in. And then I noticed they'd done a thing which I have never seen done in any hotel room in the world ever, right? They had gone through this woman's stuff. They had found the most intimate items she had. Her pyjama, her little cami pyjama top and her cotton pyjama bottom. And they had built something, a shape. They'd made them into a thing on the bed. And you're looking at this going, oh, what the hell is that, right? Now, I mean a three-dimensional thing. I don't mean like they'd laid them out like a crime scene, flat on the bed. This is where the woman was murdered. They had built like an origami thing with them, and you're circling around it going, what in the net? Oh my God, it's a bird. They have made a bird out of our underwear and put it on the bed. It was the single creepiest thing I'd ever seen in my life. It looked like the kind of thing a serial killer called the pheasant might leave. I am the pheasant. I can get into you wherever you are. I can find you. And I will leave the pheasant to prove that I was there. I am the pheasant. And I'm looking at this thing going, that's just wrong. That's just, I hate that. That's a bit intrusive and a bit intimate. I'm out of here. And I picked up my stuff to leave, right? And the thought struck me, I've never seen that done in any hotel room in the world ever. So there's a pretty good chance that the woman whose room this is has also never seen that done in any hotel room in the world ever. And she is naturally going to presume that in the 2 hours I had to kill before the game, the only thing I could think to do to make the time go faster was go through her stuff, find the frilliest, delicate, most intimate items of clothing she had, and then make a fucking duck with them on the bed. This is what I made for you. Do you like this? See the way I made a beak out of the gusset? Do you like that? Yeah. And I'm looking at this thing going, this is going to finish my career. This bird here is a vulture for my comedy career. That is going to end it. If word gets out that this is what I like to do if I'm left alone in somebody's room. Because people would ring her and go, did you use Dara OBriain for that gig? And she'd go, yeah. And they go, was he funny? She said, that's not important. Let me tell you what he's really like. And that's it. I don't work again, right? I'm looking at this thing going, that's going to kill. I've got to do something about that. Obviously, your initial reaction is take the bird apart. Rip the bird apart, fact it out, put it away somewhere. But then I thought, no, A, don't touch the thing, and B, I don't know where she took it from. I don't know if it was in a drawer, in a cupboard, in the kitchen. What if I put it in the wrong place? What if I take her stuff and end up hiding it on her? Surely that's even worse. That she comes back and I've created an underwear treasure hunt of some description. She's tearing the room apart trying to find her stuff, and then the phone rings and it's me going, getting warmer. So I do the only thing I can do, I walk down to tell her I didn't do that. And I pick up my bags and I walk through the hotel, through the crowd, going hiya, 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 trying to find this woman who's at the far corner of the room, surrounded by senior people from her company, grey-haired, middle-aged, middle management men going, well done, Mary, that was an excellent event, congratulations, it all went very well. And she's there going, thank you very much, and enjoying this significant moment in her corporate career that I burst into thinking, I'll be quick. And I just burst into the circle, excuse me, hiya. She goes, hi, and I go, listen, I just wanted you to know I didn't make a swan out of your knickers, all right? And then walked off going, well, that'll settle that, that's good, isn't it? I've got that settled up. But then, listen, hey, you've seen comedians before, we always have loads of stories about hotels because that's our life, right? But even in real life, I've moved 12 times in the last 10 years, some ridiculous amount of house moves I've done in the last while, which is, depressing. And to the young men here, you may have heard this thing about it's how it's the most stressful thing in the world to move. And yeah, it is and it isn't, right? But, there's some upside, right? And this may bore you because you haven't done it yet, but trust me, there is an upside in which you get to look around other people's houses. Right? And we all like looking around other people's houses. You can tell that by the amount of property shows, whether it's like location, or grand designs, or Property Ladder is my favourite show. Not just because, there's property there, but also because uniquely there's an expert that nobody pays any attention to. Very few television shows employ somebody to go in and go Magnolia and be completely ignored by the people where they go, no, not Magnolia, Sarah, we're going to paint it black and tarmac on the floor and then create hooks that people have to drag themselves up and we're still going to make 70 grand of profit. And Sarah Beanie's getting furious going, it's not real profit, and she's not pregnant, she's pregnant again. She's like a one-woman continuity disaster area, You watch Property Ladder going, Jesus, Sarah, how long has it taken you to paint this fucking house? You've had 3 children in the time that they've been doing up that outside toilet. But it is just nice to look into other people's houses. How many of you live in a house? The majority of you. And how many of you live in a house that has a ground floor? Yeah, the majority of you. Here's a little hint, here's a little request. Put up some curtains. Put up some curtains or some like blinds or Venetians or something. And if you're not going to do that, don't have a big miserable puss on your face staring out when I stare in. I can't understand people who look miserably at you when you look into their house. Put up some curtains, otherwise I'm looking into your feckin' house, right? And don't get me wrong, like I don't vault over the garden wall and run up to the window, go poof, and squeak my face across the glass. I like what you've done with the place. And just mean you're walking past a house, it has no curtains, you look in. And people are always sitting there going, what the fuck are you doing looking in? And I'm sorry, I'm going to look in, right? Just because you're sitting there reading like a slut, you knew I was going to look in, didn't you? Put up some curtains, otherwise it's like having cleavage on the front of your house. I'm going to look in, right?